what do we do? How does it feel for you, right? So first, this orange, so I told you about my pants. My daughter picked this orange shirt out for me, and I felt like, right, I gotta make fun, because it's me, and Something About Mary, that very tan woman, and she's smoking, and she's wearing these Dayglow colors. Well, I get very tan. Even using my SPF, I'm Italian, Irish, and Syrian, and my skin just goes straight to green and really dark. And so I've got this bright color, and I've got my tan skin, and I don't smoke. But that woman, I always think this is my Something About Mary shirt because it's so bright. But now I love it. But as I said in the past, I was like, black, dark, gray, put together. Some of you are my aesthetic clients who know I always wore black. And now I don't. I love black, but it's interesting. So often black is the protection color. Black is the color you go to for safety. And so here we are, orange. When I was young, and I was around 11, which is interesting because often they say that 11, you're really in your true self. And if you look back at the 11-year-old of yourself, contemplate that, think about it. I know we're in 2-year-old, but we move through. So at 11, orange was my favorite color. And now here we are in orange again. And I'm doing some fun things with my hair, so I got a little orange going on right now. So this is what I want to say. Listen to this. Think about what I'm saying. Find the flow. Svadhisthana. The right your own needs. Shadow is guilt. It's the soul. It's the sacral plexus, so your hips. In the front, in the back, that lower back pain. And so even right now, I'm starting, and I'm just going to move. You can't really see me. So I'm starting to turn my hips forward and back. And I'm going to make some videos. So don't think that but this is the hips in a way. And I want you to just start thinking. And then now left to right. What does it feel like? Oh, how rigid am I? We're going to do a few other things. But in this video, this understanding about the second chakra, I want you to think about how it feels to move. I used to have to move like hard and fast. And what does it feel like to move slow? You might even feel a little nauseous. I love this song, so I have this little song on. And I'm just asking you, are you driving in the car? Some of my clients, they just listen as they drive. It's like an audible. I think that maybe I'll do more audibles. So I write like I talk, and so my editors are like, please make a vlog. Your writing is worthy of more of a video and a vlog. My daughter helped me see that too. So here we are. I'm just asking you to rock. Are you like, I'm not doing it? Stop making me rock. I'm not making you do anything except give yourself a break. That's your one rule. Give yourself an effing break. And that means if this video is too long, you can't sit anymore, shut it off. I'm not going to be hurt. I'm just glad that I had this time to explain all of this to you. And I'm just wanting to say, think about orange. Do you have something fun that's orange? Just try. Find something. You might be like, I hate orange and I'm really like repelled by it. Information. Why? And then like, feel it. Feel the somatic expression of what's going on, because it's locked stuff from days in the past. It doesn't even mean it's real. The story that we're telling ourselves comes from old stuff. I'm not saying that I am not so sorry for whatever suffering you've experienced, and I'm certainly sorry for myself. But I don't feel sorry for myself in regards of pity. I just feel sad. It took me a long time to get to sad. I think some of you know that. And we've done this reflection exercise, and I want you to think about it now. Guilt. When I feel guilty, I feel that, and then think of a belief. It makes me want to think about an action I feel like it's connected to. Let's try that. So from a place that I can share this with you, before I've done a lot of the re-exchanging of energy, it would be something like this. When I'm feeling guilty, I feel like I have to fix it. That it's my responsibility to make sure everything's okay. And it makes me want to run too. or it makes me want to retreat. It feels connected to my childhood abandonment and my father's death. And I could say it to you, and I know I'm smiling, but I couldn't say that before. Couldn't access that. And then when I really was in the feelings part of it, I could feel it, but I couldn't verbalize it without trembling, maybe throwing up, and maybe being really ashamed, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. I was helping so many other people, and I'm like, what is up? But each time I worked through moving, doing the work, learning about my ground, pushing in my ground, letting myself take my feet off the floor and realize, no, I need to go back to that comfort. That's okay too. Giving myself an effing break and then moving a little bit slower because I get the stuff done. And when I go fast, maybe I felt like that meant we were safe. But we weren't safe then. We weren't safe. My father was murdered, and my mother survived horrific trauma, and she protected us. And finally, at the end, the best way she could protect us is she abandoned us. And I was 14 then. And that was shortly after my mother then told us the truth. Not that my father died of a brain tumor, which is what we were told, but told us the truth. And we had a mock funeral. My brother, my mother, and I knew what really happened, but we lied to the rest of the community. And my mother maybe buried him, maybe she didn't. I don't know. That's a lot that I'm sharing with you right now, and I appreciate that you're hearing me. I saved this for the end of the program, and after I worked with an editor, they thought it was important for me to share each part in the journaling and the vlogging of us together in this process. So it's a very sad story. I still feel sad now. And I really appreciate you letting me be seen in my sad, even as a professional, even as someone who's therapeutically helping you. Because this is my story. This is not my whole story, but it was my beginning. And my beginning was covered in a lot of lies, a lot of neglect. See, I'm having a hard time even saying the words. And then when I could recognize it and call it attention instead of making another video or locking it in, it gets free. And now there's some more space for more parts of me. The Natalie from her story that was her parents and was her childhood, was her experience and was her lens. And then as I now bring in more parts of what I want, I need to be seen in my childhood and in my adulthood. And I need to be connected from an adult self, loving myself, asking for help, allowing the help in, and then allowing the guilt to go. But not to push it away, to just kind of hold it. So take your little orange, something that you found. Maybe it's a towel. Maybe like, I don't have anything orange. Maybe orange is your favorite color. And I'm like, that's awesome. And I'm asking you to connect with that little bit that I asked you to connect with. Like a little, almost like a talisman. That sounds really like, whoa, but a little recognition of like your younger self. I use a lot of different things now. I have little bits everywhere for me to grab when I need. Maybe it's my beautiful friend, Reeve, that I'm going to share a poem from her. She and myself and Isabel, I got these little like dollar bracelets. I've had this for so long now because I wanted them to like recognize the princess in them. And then I thought, I want to get myself one too. And I still have it. I lost it. And my beautiful cousin gave me this beautiful chakra bracelet. I have another chakra bracelet for my daughter. I have all of these great things, and I see now how much I have, where in the past I had it, but I didn't allow it in. I didn't ask for more. I didn't ask to be seen. I didn't ask for those things. And it wasn't because I didn't want to. I just didn't have access. There's no real dialogue in the second chakra, as in, I need this, I feel like this. You know, we don't have that verbal ability. We don't have that psychological development to have access to those words. So we have access to our nervous system, where it's growing and where we get locked in. And from a place of the right to your own needs, I needed to be very small and not make much of a need known. Maybe that's because my mother was in trauma. Maybe she was crying all the time. Maybe she wasn't able to be there. Maybe she was fighting to try to find her husband. I don't really know. I don't remember. We were never able really to talk about it because it was just too locked for my mother. So what was really going on there was I needed food, water, shelter, and to feel I belong to another, because that's a human need. That's the number one human need, to belong. So I found the ways in which I could survive, and that was to be self-sufficient, to have very little needs, to be very powerful, to be light, loving, fun, witty, and not needy. But there was a lot that I lost as I really gained access into all of this, like stronger ways. My guilt was, I knew my mother needed from me. So I just kept trying to figure out what she needed. And I was amazing at it. I've saved her life many times. And in the end, I was the only one holding her hand and letting her finally allow herself to die in peace. I was amazing at it. It was one of my greatest gifts. And I'm proud of it. But I spent so much time always thinking about her needs and the needs of others that this person here, well, I neglected her, but not on purpose. But now I really support the me needs on purpose. And the more that I've done that, the less I have to do it all the time. And then isn't it interesting that I actually don't need that much again? But it's not that I don't need because I can't need. It's that I don't need that much because I have so much. And now I can access it and feel it. And that ebbs and ties, and it goes back and forth with the flow. So this video is almost done. This is the webinar that I've done today. I've sat here with you, and I've let you in a little bit in my stuff. And I know I've shared this before from this beautiful, beautiful scientist and healer and doctor, Peter Levine, that grief is a human condition. It's not trauma. It's a human condition to be seen in grief. But due to my grief as a child, so deeply embedded in deep trauma and criminal activity and horror and fear, the grief part of the human connection got covered up in this abscess that I was talking to you about in the voice recording. And if you need me to send it again, I will if you don't save it. But you can save it and put it, you're all able to access however you want. But I've noticed if you save it, then you can have access to it. And I think it's important to listen to it. And that's the work. Daily rituals and habits. So when you wake up, maybe it's before you go to bed, maybe it's little bits at a time. I'm asking you to give yourself an effing break. Maybe you take one thing off your list today, and maybe you do the breath, have a view. Maybe you watch one of the videos. Maybe you take a second and you do the scan. So here we are. We have the video coming to do the hand massage. I'm going to show you the self massage first. I was going to show you one with another, but that's going to be the work. I'm going to show you the hand massage for yourself. I'm going to ask you to do this for yourself. Even if you're like, I don't have enough time to do this and I have to. Let's just go to that edge. Notice the compression. Notice the tension. And then you've asked for this. You're paying for my service. I'm here. And I'm asking you, what do you need? The right to our own needs. And we're in the flow, in the water element. Hot tubs, again. Baths, showers. And then, interestingly, I poured myself this sparkling water, and it's a pink grapefruit, but it's actually orange. The can's orange. I was like, that's so perfect. So did you do that? Do you ever just like drink right out of the can? Or would you take a second, find a nice glass, pour it for yourself? Maybe you enjoy the can more. I don't. And I started noticing, and I bought myself some nice water glasses, and water, second chakra. you stop and take a drink? Do you have a special glass? Do you make tea? I don't know, maybe you have like a nice bubbly. You know, maybe there's a favorite drink you enjoy. Just take a second and to like sit down. Just 5 minutes. That's the work. We're gonna do a little like 1-minute hand massage. I'm gonna ask you to pour yourself a glass of water, a glass of liquid. I'm gonna ask you to sit down and give yourself an effing break, because as a human being, we all need a minute. It is so hard for me, but each time it gets easier and easier. And so you can add a need on to that for yourself. Maybe the need might be, I'd like to read 2 pages a day. I'd like to watch this show that I haven't let myself indulge. I feel so guilty. Maybe it's like just to have like whatever food you want. I want you to notice that in second chakra, sugar, alcohol, food addictions, they get stuck here. Trust me, I got that down too. So it's in recognizing that and understanding that. So I'm going to take a sip of this water, my orange shirt, got my orange stones, got my chakras around me, and cheers to us. I've got my nice jewelry that people who love me have given to me, and I can acknowledge it now. I can say thank you, and I can put it on and know like I have value and worth, and I am allowed to have needs. And I can take this time to make this video away from my family that needs me, because they have what they need. They're safe.